All right, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Shakar here with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of the great millstone from which I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing his work with all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. All right, let me start here in the book of let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and let me see, let's start off in verse 4, and I'm gonna read it in the NLT. Now the subheading, it says hope for Israel and Judah, so that's hope, okay, for all 12 tribes. Listen, it says, in those coming days, says the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the people of Israel will return home together with the people of Judah. They will come weeping and seeking the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, their power. See, we're coming into those times, man. Okay, the deliverance of Israel, man. You know, beginning with the elect. Okay, getting beamed up, okay, into that ship, man, the spaceship. Okay, the so-called UFO. Okay, during the time of what? The final battle, man. World War III. You see, we're in those times, but right now, the mindset, okay, of the hopeful elect is what? Is to go home, man. You know, to get out of the hell, okay, this position of hell that we're in currently. Listen, it says, they will ask the way to Jerusalem and we'll start back home again. See, and that's beginning what? In the mind. Okay, because does not the scripture say that the kingdom is within you? See, and that begins with what? Having this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, man. Okay, having the 100% truth. Listen, they will bind themselves to the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai with an eternal covenant, see, what that will never be forgotten. Because what does it tell us in what the Hebrews, the 8th chapter, that this new covenant is going to be established what on better promises. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and grab that, because that's what you have, man. You have those of the hopeful elect binding themselves, man, okay, to this true wisdom, okay, the 100% truth, man, the understanding, hey, that the Lord's getting ready to return, okay, and take back his people back to the Holy Land, man. But again, that's going to begin with the elect, because there is a separation between the elect and the non-elect. So let me go to Hebrews. Let me see, chapter 8. Let me see where I want to start. We'll start off from verse 7. It says, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought, see, for the second. But you see, there was a issue with us as a people, as Israelites. Okay, rebellion, you know, being in rebellion against the Lord, man. Being rebellious, stiff-necked, hard-hearted. You see, not wanting to, you know, follow the ways of the Lord. Instead, following the ways of these nations, man. You see the nations, okay, going after their ways. Listen, it says, for finding fault with them, see, the Israelites, man. Us as a people. He said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant, see, with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. See, that does not include these other nations. It's only speaking about the 12 tribes, man, all the way from Judah all the way down to Issachar. Listen, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand, listen, to lead them out of the land of Egypt. It says, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. You see, and going back to Exodus, the 24th chapter, you know, we said that we were going to uphold it. Matter of fact, let me read verse 10, and then I'll go and get that. It says, for this is the covenant, see, that I will make with the house of Israel. See, after those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws, see, into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, see, and they will be to me a people. You see, but when you go, let's go real quick to Exodus, the 24th chapter, you know, we made a covenant with the Lord, but we didn't keep, okay, our part of that promise. 24, let me see. I'll just start off in verse 3. It says that Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and all the judgments, and all the people answered, see, with one voice, and said, all the words which the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has said, we will do. But did we do it? No, no, we did not. It says, and Moses wrote all the words of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai, and rose up early in the morning and builded an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. See, again, where's the other nations? They're not there because it's not for them. Listen, and he sent young men to the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen, see, unto the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai. See, and Moses took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. So this is a blood covenant, man, an agreement. Okay, it's an agreement with the Lord, man. Going back to what the promise that he made to us, and us as the people saying, yeah, we're going to keep that promise. It's an agreement. Listen, and it says, and he took the book of the covenant, see, and read it in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai has said, we will do and be obedient. You see, we said we were going to do it, man. Again, but we did not. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai had made, it says, with you concerning, see, all these words. So you're going back to what the contract. It's a contract that the Lord made, okay, with us as a people. But again, us as the people, okay, we didn't do it, man. We broke our part of it. But the Lord, he kept his words. Because that's why unto this day, okay, we're under the curses. The Lord said, if you do this, I'm gonna bless you. But if you don't do this and you do that instead, I'm gonna curse you. Going back to Deuteronomy, okay, the 28th chapter. You see? And right now, okay, we're in the midst of these curses. But the Lord said, what? I'm going to establish this upon better promises. Let me go back. Let's go back to Hebrews, the 8th chapter. And I'm going to start up a little bit, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, verse 6. I started in verse 7, but I'm going to jump back up to verse 6 just to get this verse. It says, but now he has attained, see, a more excellent ministry. It says, by how much also he is the mediator, see, of a better covenant. It's speaking about Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, he's our mediator. You see, he's the one that's he's basically our lawyer, man. He's our go between us and the Most High, man. Okay, because the Lord pretty much cast us off, man. Yahweh had cast off his people. You see, but it was all part of the Lord's plan, man. It was all part of his plan to ultimately because look, Yahweh Shai was sacrificed, okay, from the beginning, man. It said he was from the, matter of fact, let me see if I can get that. It's in the book of Revelation. Let me get it. The lamb that was slain from the foundation of the world. Let me look it up just so I know where it's at. Let me see. The lamb slain. Yep. Revelation 13. No, that's not it. No, let me see. Yeah. Revelation 13 and verse 8. Let me get that real quick. Then I'll come back. Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8. Let me see. Let me start off a little bit, I believe. I'm just going to start in verse 7. It says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints, speaking about the Edomites, okay, Esau, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations, because, okay, Esau, he's in his blessing. See, in verse 8 says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. See, right now, we were all pretty much in that position, going after, okay, the ways of the heathen nations, especially Esau, man. Okay, having that that Greco-Roman, okay, mindset, okay, that living that lifestyle. It says, whose names are not written in the book of life, listen, of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. He says, so it was always in the mind of Yahweh, okay, to put Yahweh Shai, okay, upon that cross, man, to be a sacrifice, you see, for his people, you see. But through that, now he's become our mediator. Again, he's our go-between between us and the Father to what? To bring us back, okay, to be in good graces, okay, with Yahweh, man. So let me go back. Let me go back to Hebrews, the 8th chapter. Now I'll finish that off. Now I'll just start from the top again. It says Hebrews 8 and 6. It says, but now he hath attained, a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant. Listen, which was established upon better promises. See, this time we're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments, in our inward parts. Now, when we jump down, I'll get it. Listen, Hebrews 8 and 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. You see, so every Israelite ultimately is going to know the Lord, man. That's why we know that we're still not fully in the new covenant, because the men of the Lord, they're still teaching, man. You see, people still got to come in and acknowledge, okay, this word, this truth. You see, and this word still got to be taught. It says, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. Ultimately, okay, that's all Israel, but it's going to begin with the elect. Listen, and that he saith, a new covenant he had made the first old, now which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. You see, that's why we're in the time of grace. We're in a period of being having that unmerited favor. You see, because we really don't deserve it. You see, but through the Lord's mercy, okay, we're in that time right now. Okay, where the opportunity is to get right with the Lord, but really, you see, but ultimately it's about the election, because they're really the only ones that are going to come back to the Lord, man. Matter of fact, let me grab that. That's the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, and verse 20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant, of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more against thee upon him, that smote them. It says, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Now, who smote us as a people? Okay, all the nations are guilty, you see, but who's that head villain, man? Okay, who's been that most diabolical culprit, man? That's Esau, the so-called white man. You see, we're not going to lean upon him for any more truth, man. Okay, we've had enough with Christianity, Catholicism, okay, and whatever other madness, okay, that he's pushed. Because really, okay, he's behind it all, man. You see, because the Roman Catholic Church is behind, okay, so many of these false religions. That's why it's known as the false prophet in the book of Revelation. You see, so ultimately, those are the hopeful elect. They're not going to lean upon, okay, this devil for any more truth. No, they're going to lean upon the Lord, man. Okay, and they're going to take heed, okay, to his true prophets. Okay, the men that are bringing out this 100% truth. Listen, that the remnant, it says the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. See, right now, again, returning home, man. Okay, and it begins with the mind. Okay, in that mindset, having the proper mindset of understanding who we are, understanding, okay, who our enemies are. That chief enemy being Esau. Okay, knowing that we're in the midst of Jacob's trouble, and this is going to get worse. Okay, that they're getting ready to bring in that mark of the beast, which is the chip. Okay, to put it under the skin, man. See, then World War III is going to come. Okay, and then World War III is going to break out. You see, then ultimately the Lord's going to return. You see, but there's only a very few, okay, that have that right mindset. Listen, it says, for though that people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. See, that consumption, okay, being that destruction, man. It's going to be a righteous thing, okay, to the Lord to bring, okay, that justice, man, that judgment, okay, those punishments upon the people. Okay, that's going to be 2/3 of our own people, okay, the nations, and then Esau, man, the so-called white man. Okay, they're all going to have to take part in that destruction, especially here in so-called America. Listen, for the Lord power of hosts shall make a consumption, even determined, in the midst of all the land. So it's already been determined. You see, in the mind of the Lord, okay, he's already made the decision, okay, to bring that destruction. You see, and nothing's going to change it, man. You see, nothing's going to turn back, okay, that judgment. Matter of fact, let me stay here in Isaiah. Let's go to the 14th chapter, and let me go down. Yeah. I'm just going to start off in verse 21. Isaiah 14 and 21, it says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. I'm speaking about the Edomites, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So their time is up, man. They're never going to rise again. They're never going to have any type of rulership, you see. And really, they are their fathers. That's why it says prepare slaughter for their children, because they come back. You got to have that acknowledgement, okay, or that understanding. You have to acknowledge, okay, reincarnation. Okay, it's part of okay, the Lord's movie, man. Okay, this is part of the Lord's story. Listen, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, and son and nephew, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai. Okay, showing you that everything goes back, through the Father, man. Okay, the Father carries the seed. Listen, I will also make it a possession, listen, for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it, listen, with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai of hosts. Okay, the Lord of armies. Okay, he's going to bring, okay, that nuclear fire, man. Then you're going to have the chariots, the so-called UFOs, okay, raining down that laser fire as well. You see? See, and ultimately the bittern going into what? Those unclean animals, the birds. Okay, you're gonna have the birds, the Gila monsters, okay, the desert creatures, so on and so forth, man. They're gonna dwell here once that fire burns itself out. Listen, this is the point I want to throw. Says the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought. So it's determination, and this is what the Lord is determined to do. So shall it come to pass, and as I have proposed or purposed, so shall it stand. So again, nothing's going to change it, man. Nothing's going to change, okay, the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai. So let me go back real quick to Jeremiah 50, and I'll read verse 5 again. It says, they will ask the way to Jerusalem, speaking about, okay, those of the hopeful elect. It says, and we'll start back home again. And again, that begins, okay, in the mind. Okay, again, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It says, they will bind themselves to the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai with an eternal covenant that will never be forgotten. See, ultimately, that's going to have, okay, so ultimately, that's going to be having the new bodies, okay, having eternal life, having the law, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts, man. Okay, never to go off again. Listen, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have led them astray and turned them loose, see, in the mountains. See, that's going to what? You see, that's going into what? These false leaders, man, these false teachers, whether it be Christianity, Catholicism, okay, so on and so forth. And even those, okay, that are of the circumcision that know they're Israel, but they're teaching a false doctrine, man. Okay, they're not teaching correct, man. They have that incorrect, okay, doctrine. Listen, they have lost their way and can't remember how to get back, listen, to the sheepfold. Yeah, because they're not part of the Lord's sheep, okay, in this time. Ultimately, yeah, all Israel's going to be saved as is written, but there's a difference, man. There's a separation, okay, between the elect and the non-elect. You see, so ultimately that's the way the Lord set it up, man. He set up an elect and a non-elect on this side for his people. He set up the false leaders, the false teachers, okay, to lead, okay, those of the non-elect astray. Okay, they're not the Lord's sheep in this time. Ultimately, okay, they will be, but in this time they're not. Matter of fact, let me get this in Job just to prove that. Let's go to Job. Let me see. Chapter 12. Let me see where I want to start. I'll just start off in verse 10. No, I'll start off in let me see. I'll start off in verse 9. It says, who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai hath wrought this? So you know that the Lord, okay, he's in full control, man. Again, this is his movie. This is his story. It says, in whose hand is the soul. It says, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing and the breath of all mankind. Again, the Lord's in control, man. It says, does not the ear try words and the mouth taste his meat? It says, with the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days understanding. It says, with him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Listen, behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Verse 15, it says, behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. Okay, showing you the Lord's strength. Listen, with him is strength, listen, and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. You see, so even the false prophets, they're in the hand of the Lord, man. Again, they were set up to what? To lead certain Israelites astray, man. You see? So ultimately, they could be destroyed on the side. Again, the Lord has set a difference between the elect, you see, and the non-elect. So right now in this time, yeah, the hope is for all Israel, but really, it's just about the elect, man. You see, those are the spirits that the Lord has given, okay, the true understanding. You see, and those that reject it and don't acknowledge the truth, well, they're going to be destroyed. All right, let's go ahead and let's get one more. Let's go to the book of, let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse, chapter 1 and verse 6. Yep, it says, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Okay, now who's troubled us as a people? Well, all the nations, okay? But in this time, who's troubling those of the hopeful elect, man? Well, yeah, it's the nations, okay, beginning with Esau, the so-called white man, but even 2/3 of our own people. Listen, it says, and to you who are troubled, rest with us. Okay, those that the Lord has set up, man. Okay, those that the Lord has given this 100% truth, okay, to teach it, to preach it. Let me read it again from the top. It says, and to you who are troubled, rest with us. When the Lord Yahweh Shai shall be revealed, listen, from heaven with his mighty angels. So he's coming in that fathership, man, right along with the rest, okay, of those other spaceships. Okay, with the angels, man. Listen, in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not the Most High, said, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So again, they're not listening because they're not paying attention. They're not acknowledging this truth. Of course, the nations, beginning with Esau, okay, all the heathen, it's not for them. So they're not going to listen. But 2/3 of our own people, okay, they rejected it, man. Really, it's because, hey, the Lord rejected them. That's why the Lord, gave them those false prophets, those false leaders, okay, so they could be led astray, man. Listen, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power. Hey, so that judgment is coming. You see? So again, the Lord is putting a difference between the elect and the non-elect. Listen, when he shall come to be glorified in his saints. Now all Israel, okay, they are the saints, but it begins with the elect. Listen, and to be admired in all them that believe, because listen, our testimony among you was believed in that day. See, and what's the testimony, man? Who is testifying? Well, it's the two witnesses, okay, Judah and Israel, man, or Judah and Ephraim. You see, the prophets, man, okay, that have been giving you this truth. So you see, it's the Lord, man. He's putting a difference, okay, between the elect, see, and the non-elect. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Badash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of the great millstone, from which I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing this work with all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.